Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.
Let's get to the campaigns. The UPND have accused you of being provocative in the way you're campaigning in Kabushi. Are you provoking the opposition in your constituency?
Thank you very much, PZ, and the listeners and viewers out there. You know, the people of Ndola, they know who Bowman Lusambo is. We have been working in the Kabushi constituency. We have been working with the UPND, even in the 2016 general elections. The UPND participated in those elections, and the candidate for UPND by then was Ernest Lufunda. If you go back to Ernest Lufunda, I will tell you that he enjoyed his campaigns in Kabushi constituency because the people of Kabushi constituency and the candidate for PF in Kabushi constituency he was campaigning based on issues, the things which they are going to do and the things which the party was doing. So the UPND today, to say that we are provoking or we are campaigning or we are doing a provocative campaigns in Kabushi constituency, it is not true, because we started our campaigns, you remember, and Ndola was very quiet. Ndola was quiet. We met with our colleagues in Kabushi constituency, we argued, and we have been working very well, because the UPND, they know in Kabushi constituency that they don't have any chance of winning a seat here in Ndola. So we have been interacting with them. In some extent, when we see them using our people without giving them even water, we have been giving them money to buy food for their foot soldiers. And those are the things which we are doing in Kabushi constituency. That is how we have lived in Kabushi constituency. We stay as a community, and in the community we live as brothers and sisters. When Hakainde Hichilema came here, immediately he reached Ndola. He went straight in the stronghold of PF, the Kabushi constituency. And me, I'm not competing with Hakainde Hichilema. I'm a small boy. And Hakainde Hichilema is competing with a small boy called Bowman.
Well, last time we had a conversation, you said you are his level, and he's not at the level of President Edgar Lungu. Don't you think he was right to go into your constituency? And
he's asking for too much, because he has gone to the level of the president. So if he wanted to be on my level, he would have come and contest in Kabushi constituency as a councillor in Masala ward or Skyways ward, so that they can compete with Pioka and Mwanza. So when he went into Kabushi constituency, I can assure you that he went to expose himself. He has exposed himself.
Why do you say so?
He has exposed himself because he went into Kabushi constituency, expected to attract the magnitude of the people there, and the people, they were laughing at him. So I wanted to compete with Hakainde Hichilema. Then the other thing was, the other heart was telling me, he's a young man. He said, you can't compete. If Hakainde Hichilema wanted politics, he would have just contested in Kabushi constituency as a councillor, because the crowds which he pulled when he came to Kabushi constituency, it's not even compared to Mwanza's crowd when Mwanza was filing in his papers as a councillor for Skyways ward. So he came to expose himself. So because of the reaction he picked from the people of Kabushi constituency, they started beating the people in the constituency, in Bwana Mkubwa, whoever was putting on.
Who started beating who?
Hakaine's team. They started beating the people. And for us, we have never engaged ourselves in any form of violence, any form of fights. The police are there to bear witness to us. We have been talking to the police, the chief commissioner of police here on the Copper Belt province, the district the district commander for police here in Ndola. We have been talking to them, and I can assure you that it is very unfortunate that the UPND, they have come to provoke the PF. But we are not going to fight them because they are young. They are just a few individuals in the district. We have millions. You see, the number of people here in Ndola, 95% they are PF. 95% they are PF. And if we say, okay, let us fight this UPND, we are going to crush them. We are going to crush them.
But Honorable, should it get to that?
This is what I'm saying.
Get to that?
We can't.
The president has called on you.
We can't do that.
Yeah,
we can't do that. I'm just explaining to you that if we decided to face them, they will be crushed. But we don't want to go that route. We know that politics, it's about issues. What are we going to do? What are we going to give to our people? How are we going to improve their lives? How are we going to improve this economy? How are we going to give the people what they want? That is politics. So the UPND, they want to fight. They want to fight. Hakainde Hichilema wants to fight. His people wants to fight. As we are saying, we don't want to fight. We have been meeting UPND campaigners in Kabushi constituency, in Chifubu constituency, in Ndola Central, and Bwana Mkubwa. And I've told the people here in Ndola district, being me, I'm the mobilization coordinator for Copper Belt. I've told them, don't fight them as is issue based. We have a lot of issues to talk about, PZ. We have a lot of issues to talk about. Our plate is very full.
All right,
we
so
want to talk. We want to tell the whole
guaranteeing us that we will not hear of any spates of violence in Kabushi or in Ndola, to be precise, during this campaign? Because we saw how cordial you were with the UPND when it was time for you to file in your nominations. We saw those pictures, and people, commended both parties, the UPND and the PF, for doing that. But now that it's boots on the ground to canvass for votes, are we still going to see those cordial relations that you are, displaying to the nation during that period?
Exactly. That is the teaching which we are getting from His Excellency Edgar Lungu. No fight. His Excellency Edgar Lungu has told us that it's not worth it for you people to kill, for me to go to State House. It's not worth it for you people to injure your colleagues, for me to go to State House. And you are going to see the cordial relationship between the PF and all the political parties who are participating in this year's general election. If you wanted to fight, we would have dispersed the UPND, including Hakainde Hichilema, when they were burying their colleague at Kansai Cemetery. If we wanted to fight, we would have dispersed them there when they smashed our bus. We would have done that. But I told them, no, these guys, we know what they want. We know what Hakainde wants. Hakainde, he has come to terms that he can't rule this country. He has come to terms that he can't win an election here in Zambia. So what he wants to push for, he wants the government or coalition government. And here in Zambia, we don't do that. In Zambia, we are State House umuntu winning an election. Muntu oba voted abantu. So Hakainde na mumpofaderanda. Yo muchitefi hand over power. Yo ish kwati nape no muntu. Okay? If moneka abantu abalushira my elections fili. So if we kulwa 30 tuwe pona aba PF nangwene political party, because we know that we are a very strong party. We are a very strong party, and the people of Zambia, they have decided they want Edgar Lungu to continue. They want the PF to continue. So, PZ, the viewers and listeners out there, I can assure you that for us as PF here on the Copper Belt province and Ndola in particular, we are not going to fight the UPND. We have no time. We have no time to fight the UPND. Who are they? Who are they? We have no time to do that.
Before we focus more on other national issues, I want to focus on Kabushi. Let's look at the past 5 years for you. How do you rate your chances of retaining the Kabushi seat based on what you have delivered for the people of Kabushi as their member of parliament the past 5 years?
99.9. Those are the chances. 99.9. Those are the chances which the president, the MP, the Honorable Bowman, the bulldozer Lusambo, and the councillor. Those are the chances we have to return the Kabushi constituency back to PF. 99.9%. Why have I said this? When we went into Kabushi constituency in 2014, 2015, the people of Kabushi constituency, they were crying for the bad sewer system which we had in Kabushi constituency. And immediately we were voted in 2016. We worked through His Excellency Edgar Lungu. We worked on the sewer system in Kabushi constituency. When you go to Kabushi constituency, they will show you that this sewer line is a new sewer line, because the old sewer line which was here, it was giving us problems, and we managed to sort out that issue. And we want to thank the people of Kabushi for the patience which they exhibited during the trying moment when they were failing to eat from outside their yards. They were failing to cook from outside their yards. But today, when you go into Kabushi constituency, they will tell you that, yes, what Bowman was talking about, it's true. The sewer system has been worked on. That is one. And that was one of the promises which we gave the people of Kabushi. Two, we told the people of Kabushi that we are working on the water system in Kabushi constituency. The Kafrafuta water project, it will also supply water to the people of Ndola and Kabushi constituency inclusive. And I can assure you, PZ, that today we have started depressing the old pipes in Kabushi constituency with the new pipes for readiness of our water supply from the Kaflafuta water project. And also Kafugu water here in Ndola. They are trying by all means to supply water into Kabushi constituency. And the people of Kabushi constituency, their meter or their water bills, we agreed with the Kafugu water that we are going to open to come up with a new system which will subtract, first of all, the money which was owed to the council by the residents of Kabushi constituency, the money which was not accumulated by the tenants who are occupying most of the houses in Kabushi constituency. In short, we wanted to scrap the old bills and start the new ones. And that is the thing which we have been doing for the people of Kabushi constituency. We have given them the market. They were saying we needed a big market in Kabushi constituency. Today, we are constructing a very big market in Kabushi constituency. The biggest market here in Zambia is sitting in Kabushi constituency. It will be accommodating 8,000 marketeers, the traders themselves, before the outside shops. Just the marketeers in that market, it will accommodate 8,000 traders. It is not a small market, busy. If you have time, you can pass through the Kapalala market, you see what I'm talking about. That is an achievement. We have given the people of Kabushi Ward a market. They needed a market. And the Kabushi Ward also, the people in Kabushi Ward, they have been using pit latrines since 1964. You know, Kabushi Ward has been, it's one of the oldest compounds we have here in Ndola. And the Kafubu Water, they have said we are going to upgrade Kabushi Ward. We want to give them a flushable toilets. And the pilot project, it has started, and very soon the team, they'll be on the ground to make sure that we give the people of Kabushi these flushable toilets. We are constructing roads. You know, Kabushi, we have been constructing roads in Kabushi constituency, and we are still constructing roads in Kabushi constituency. And all these things which I'm talking about, when you go to Kabushi constituency, you see that, okay, this is what Bowman was talking about. We have empowered the marketeers. We have empowered the youths in Kabushi constituency. So our chances, PZ and the listeners out there, is 99.9% for us in Kabushi constituency. And we have, in our database, we are supporting underprivileged children, those in universities, colleges, primary school and secondary schools, 650. And it's not a joke. 650, it's not a joke. So those are the things which we have managed to do in Kabushi constituency. Above all, the relationship which we have created with the people in Kabushi constituency. We have created a very strong relationship with the people. I can assure you that we can give the people all these things which I've listed here. If the relationship is bad, we can't even have time to go back and talk to the people in Kabushi Coast because they won't listen to us. But the relationship
162.5.4.192.8.106.8.103
developing our constituency. So those are the percentages we have for Kabushi constituency, PZ, and listeners and viewers out there.
All right, so based on that, you're campaigning to be re-elected as Member of Parliament for Kabushi, but also there's a bigger decision to be made by the residents of Kabushi, or the electorate in Kabushi, is the issue to do with the presidential candidates. There's a topical issue in the country, issue to do with commodity prices. The cost of living has gone up. I'll give you an example of a family of 5 in Lusaka now has to spend 8,400 kwacha for them to survive, a family of 5. And that has been very, very contentious. What are you going to tell the people of Zambia as a patriotic front? Why should they vote for you and retain you in power when commodities and prices are skyrocketing?
Thank you very much, PZ, and viewers and listeners out there. You remember very well, PZ, even in 1964, the people of Zambia, they were saying, no, the eggs are expensive. No, the meal is expensive. And that is how life is or about, PZ. But I can assure you that from 1964, the things which His Excellency Kenneth David Kaunda did with these people, and from 2001 up to 2010, the MMD and different presidents happens to do in their 20 years of rule, and the things which the PF is doing now, you can see that there's a very big gap or a very big difference. People have been comparing the time of the late President Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, the exchange rate of the dollar. You remember that during Levi Mwanawasa rule, the only thing which we are doing is to do winter maize. If you remember very well, Mwanawasa introduced the winter maize. We were not constructing roads. We were not expanding power generation for electricity in our country. We were not constructing hospitals. All the proceedings or the profits which we were getting from the mines, those small percentages which we have, the shares we have in the mines, we were investing into the reserves, if you recall very well. And because of the number of reserves which we had, Mwanawasa managed to deal with the dollar issue in our country. We were not building anything. We were just keeping the money. And we sold through privatization, through people like Akainde Ichirema, the mines which we had as our mines, we sold to the foreign investors, if you recall very well. We sold to the foreign investors. And the time of Mwanawasa and this time, the difference is when Mwanawasa was governing this country, we were not touching the reserves. The reserves were intact. We were not constructing roads. We were not constructing hospitals. A lot of infrastructure development came to a standstill during that time. But at the time of the PF, we have seen how we have managed to open up Zambia. We have constructed roads. We are constructing hospitals. We are doing a lot of construction in our country, and by doing so, the money in the reserves definitely has been touched. And the mines which us as a country depended on or depended upon, it is in the foreign hands. It is in the foreign hands. Remember when we discussed this issue last time, I told you that the decision which His Excellency Edgar Lungu has made on the Mpani copper mines, it is a very a good decision for us as a country. The Mpani copper mines, we are going to mine our own copper, and we are going to sell this copper through London Stock Exchange. And after selling that copper, the entire money will come in our central bank. Definitely we'll have a lot of dollars, and these dollars will force the exchange rate to go down, because we will have more dollars and people, they will be having good exchange rates in our country. Right now, what is happening in our country, for example, NFCA, the owners of Chambishi and the other mines in Kitwe, when they mine copper, they take straight into, for example, China. They sell their copper, and the money which is coming back into our country is just money for salaries to pay our people and some taxes to pay to government. But what we wanted the entire money which they sell our copper to come back to Zambia, so that we can have more dollars in our country. The reason why we are here today, it's not that it is because of President Edgar Lungu. No, it is not because of Edgar Lungu. It's because of the investors we have given the mines to. We have given investors, and these investors, they are not keeping their money here. They are not keeping. Some of the investors actually, they borrow from the banks to invest invest in these mines.
But
I was with the president.
Isn't that only right? Their parent companies are not in Zambia, so they're not necessarily, mandated to keep their money here if their parent companies are not in Zambia. Going back to your earlier point, going back to your earlier point where you stressed that government has repossessed some mines. Does government have the capacity to run these mines, seeing that you've already highlighted that we've already touched over our reserves quite a lot, and it has gotten us to where we are today?
Yeah, as government of His Excellency Edgar Lungu, by the time President Edgar Lungu and the entire cabinet were making that decision of getting Mpani copper mines, definitely we have a plan how to run that mine. And if we happen to inject, for example, $100 million in Mpani copper mines in operations, we inject that money, and we get $200 million dollars per month to be in our central bank. Definitely, I can assure you, Pizzi and listeners out there and viewers, that the issue of dollar exchange will be the thing of the past. That's why President Edgar Lungu is a very unique president. He's a very unique president. He's not like other presidents who wants to copy things from other people. President Edgar Lungu wants to do things which convince himself that when I do this, the benefits will be this to my people. So for me, the government have a capacity. We have a capacity to do that. We have the capacity. President Edgar Lungu has even been encouraging and challenging Zambians. You Zambians, why can't you come up with a consortium and start a mine which will be Zambia-owned mine, so that when you start mining, all the copper sales, they will come into our country. So for me, Pizzi, the other thing which we can only propose, and that will be on cabinet level through His Excellency Edgar Lungu, is when we come up with a law in our country where we subject all these mining companies to start keeping their monies in Zambia. to start keeping their monies in Zambia. For example, if they can keep their money in Zambia maybe for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and they start after that they can put out their money, so that it can help us to reduce the exchange rate within the country. Because as at now, we are not benefiting anything apart from paying salaries and the small shareholdings which we have in these mining companies. That's why President Edgar Lungu, he has been emphasizing on diversification. Because when we diversify and we manage to diversify completely into agriculture and aquaculture, definitely when we do our products, we sell, all the monies will be in our country. And we have open market in Congo, we have open market in Angola, and many other African countries, and within the southern Africa and within the region. I can assure you that we will manage to feed our people through agriculture and aquaculture.
All right, you're listening to a special interview on your hot station, number 1 for news and entertainment. We're live in the heart of Ndola, the friendly city of Ndola, and we're being hosted by the PF Kabushi parliamentary candidate, Honorable Bowman Lusambo. We're looking at a few pertinent issues, and we want you to be part of this show. So you go to the Hot FM Facebook page, the live feed, and ask your question that we're going to place, to Mr. Lusambo, and he's going to tackle those. I want us to focus on the issue to do with the common man in Kabushi that doesn't understand the intricacies of mines and exchange rates, and all they see when they go into that local store or Pakantemba Pakona is they're being told your bread is now 16 kwacha, which you used to buy for 5 kwacha. Your meal we used to buy for 36 kwacha is now over 100 kwacha. How is the PF government going to sort this out? Or how are you going to explain to the people why we are where we are now, and how are these problems going to be sorted out going into the 12th August pause?
We have been doing that. We have been interacting with our people. We have been talking to the teachers in the community. We have been talking to the pastors. We have been talking to reverends, the fathers. We have been talking to all community leaders, so that we can be on the same page with them. We have given them a very good picture. And this picture, I can assure you, Pizzi and listeners out there, that the people in Kabushi constituency, they are agreeing with us. They know that people like Davi-tech-media participated in privatization, and they are the ones who have made us to be here today. And the people in Kabushi constituency, they don't like the UPND and the Davi-tech-media. That's why come 12th of August, I can assure you, Pizzi, listeners and viewers out there, that the people of Kabushi constituency.
Subscribe to Davi-tech-media. Davi-tech-media. Subscribe to Davi-tech-media.